Welcome to Ryan Watches a Movie. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today, we got Kevin Rakeshaw. Hey, Kevin.
Hi.
We're also joined by Ryan Holes. Hey, Ryan. How you holding up?
Pretty good, I guess.
All things considered.
Yes.
That's good. If this is your first time tuning in, Kevin and I are challenging ourselves to find movies that Ryan likes in the hopes that we will reach a coveted 10 out of 10. You can join in on the conversation by sending your movie suggestions for Ryan to podcast@filmpulse.net or by sending me a DM on Twitter @FilmPulseNet. If you like the show, or even if you don't, be sure to check out the Fredericks Ataxia Research Alliance website at curefa.org. Check it out. Ryan, what movie do we have you watch this week?
The Nice Guys.
The Nice Guys. You wanted another comedy. You wanted another movie that was a little bit lighter to take your mind off of the current state of things. So we decided on giving you Shane Black's The Nice Guys from 2016. I have a synopsis here. In 1970s Los Angeles, a mismatched pair of private eyes investigate a missing girl and a mysterious death of a porn star. Tell us a little bit about The Nice Guys, Ryan.
Well, at the very beginning, there's a early teenager in a bed sneaks into his parents' bedroom while they're sleeping and takes a Playboy sort of thing under their bed. And he's walking around the house looking at it. And all of a sudden you see a car crash through his house down the hill. And when he goes to investigate, even though his parents apparently don't wake up, he goes to investigate. And the girl that was in the car is laying pretty much fully naked, pretty much in the pose that the girl is in the Playboy. And I forget what the line to this film is. But here's one line telling that dies. And then it cuts to a lady who...
She says, "How do you like my car, big boy?"
A lady hires one of the investigators to investigate, and another person hires I guess you call him sort of like an enforcer, and he's meant to go talk the private investigator out of continuing his investigation. And he does that by going to the PI's house, throwing his way in, and then very slowly and methodically beats the PI up and breaks his arm. And then you find out that the woman who hired the private investigator has more information, and they eventually force the guy, the private investigator, end up joining up, and the private investigator is pretty much a complete, I don't know if I should call it a waste of life or a fuck up, but he always drinks, and he has a teenage daughter, and he does irresponsible things with her.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up, that daughter ends up working with him, and the private investigator and the enforcer and the little kid end up eventually finding out who did the murder and why they did it. And they, in the end, they end up, I can't really say anything without giving anything away.
Okay, you don't want to spoil it. Okay, that's fine. They live happily ever after, though, right?
They do, yeah, but not everyone does.
A couple of people don't.
There are some deaths. Yes, that is true. My first question is: have you seen this movie before?
No, I meant to watch it, but I don't think I ever did.
Okay, good. Because like when
I can't believe it.
I
I
know,
can't
like
believe it.
when we were discussing what to give you, Kevin suggested this movie, and we checked your letterboxd, and we didn't see it logged on there. So I'm like, maybe he didn't see it, but it seems like one he definitely would have seen. With that being said, like, what did you think of The Nice Guys?
I thought it was pretty fucking hilarious. The problem is, I can't think of his name.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. It just the way he reacts to almost everything makes you laugh out loud continuously.
Mm-hmm.
And his 13-year-old daughter, she's like pretty much an adult trapped in a kid's body. Like she constantly, well, not constantly, but she says she needs a drink after all this, and it's just the way they'll work perfectly together.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I would love to see Ryan Gosling do more comedy like this because I think that he's a really good physical comedian. And there were so many scenes in this that, I mean, I like this. So I rewatched this for the podcast for the show, and I think this was the first time I saw it since at the theater. And this was like back in May of 2016 when we reviewed it on the weekly podcast way back. And I was just laughing hysterically. Like, I remembered a lot of the scenes, but oh my God, I was just losing it.
When he was doing this the whole time, I'm thinking, like, how does he keep a straight face? Like,
oh no.
Again.
The scene, just the scene at the beginning when he breaks into that house and he wraps up the handkerchief on his hand and he goes to punch the window and he does it so specifically and methodically, and like, oh, he's gonna nail this, and as soon as he punches through the window and he slices his arm, he's just like, that's a lot of blood. And then the very next scene they show him in an ambulance. I think the comedic timing of this movie is just, it's so on point. Like every little, like there's so many little things that happen, like you said, Ryan, the fact that Russell Crowe's character is this enforcer. He breaks his arm at the beginning, and for the rest of the movie, Ryan Gosling's in a cast. And the scene when he's in the bathroom in the stall and he has the cigarette and he's reading the magazine, yes. And how he's trying to keep the door propped open, but he's trying to also like cover himself up, but then he drops the cigarette, and it's just all of those things happening at once. It's such a funny script too. I mean, Shane Black, this is like, he needs to make many more of these types of movies, because I think this is like where he really shines.
Their banter back and forth is pretty good too. Like when they're at that party, that whole scene is hilarious.
It's a very quotable movie. If you go on IMDb, there's tons and tons of quotes listed on there, and they're all absolutely hilarious. Now, Kevin, you were, if I remember correctly, you were into this movie, right?
Incorrect. I did not like this movie.
Oh, really? I thought you did.
Yeah. No, didn't like it. I mean, I liked parts of it. Obviously, it's not completely useless to me. There are some funny bits, but I had a problem with, all I can remember is one scene in particular, but I feel as though there was a number of scenes where they were stretched out for far too long. And the one that I can remember that I'm thinking of is, I think it's Gosling falls off of like a balcony.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like rolls down a hill.
Yes. And
that's a whole thing that just goes on forever with him sitting there.
Yeah, that was at the party that Ryan mentioned.
Yeah.
That was during that scene. I'm a big fan of this sort of aesthetic overall. I love it's this great kind of 70s noir, takes place in Hollywood. I'm all about that aesthetic as well.
I like when they're at the party and there's all these well actually it's a whole movie. There's young girls throughout. And every time they talk, like the conversation is like awkward. Like if they're trying to not talk to young porn stars, but they manage to not make you laugh at the same time.
I love the scene when they are investigating the burned down house and that kid rolls up on the bike.
Yes.
And the kid goes, "You guys want to see my dick?" and Ryan Gosling just goes, "Nobody wants to see your dick, dude." He's like, $20? And he goes, "I already paid you 12. What am I saying?" I do really love the banter in it. I think it's great. I would like to see a sequel. I mean, they set it up at the end for a sequel. I would love to see these two characters get back together. One issue that I had with it, and maybe I mentioned this in our original review, I can't even remember, is that like so many of these other action comedies, the comedy portion of it does sort of drop off at some point.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really unfortunate because I think that the movie's front loaded with really hilarious set pieces and dialogue. And then the back portion of it, like the final act, is very action heavy. And I feel like while there is still comedy there, I feel like so many other movies similar to this, it sort of takes a back seat. The comedy takes a back seat to the action and it falters a little bit.
Yeah, the quality and the quantity a lot of times in these movies between first half and second half, there's just such a noticeable drop off.
Yeah, it was really the moment when Russell Crowe's character and Ryan Gosling's character started like to become friends. That's when things started to get a little rocky in the comedy department because they started to like each other. And one of the things that was so funny about this was that the fact that they were just constantly jabbing at each other. So,
Ryan, would you watch it? Would you watch a sequel? Nice Guys 2, even nicer.
I already plan on watching this, man. Like, there's many twists and turns. And obviously I already know how it all plays out, but it still makes me laugh.
It does have a high rewatch value to it, I think. It's definitely one of those that I could see myself coming back to. I mean, Shane Black also did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and that's a very similar style of movie. Did you see that one, Ryan? The one with Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah, long time, yeah.
Yeah, that one's also sort of a Hollywood noir that incorporates a lot of comedy, and it's a very similar movie, actually. That's a movie that I can come back to again and again.
Now, Ryan, because obviously it seems like this is going to go into your rotation, but we always talk about this with you. Rewatchability is a big thing. So is this going to get thrown into the mix?
God, it depends. The main thing with my rotation is his ability, ease of access to watch. Like if it's on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It's really easy to watch.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that before, where it pretty much has to be on TV for him to watch.
Yeah. This isn't necessarily Ryan having a rotation. It's Ryan. There's a long list of movies that Ryan wishes was in his rotation, and then whatever the television gives him, that's what his rotation is at the current moment.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I don't
like on my Apple TV. I have the Play app where I watch the TV, and then I have a digital cable app, and whatever. I mean, it's easy to switch between them, but it's far easier not to even have to switch to anything.
You just leave it on TBS, is what you're saying. You just leave it on this. How often do you change channels, or do you mainly just stay on the same channel?
Well, alright, I'll explain. Maybe this will help. On my app, the way to change channels, there is no up and down. It's a guide that you
Wow.
have to eventually guide and then pick what you want. So I don't know, probably 4 or 5 channels. And numerically in my head, I know how many times I have to push up or down before I get them to the gun so I can access them faster.
All right, so you have a system. Okay.
This guy's next level. He doesn't have up and down. Are you kidding me?
That's for losers.
Ryan's past that.
I noticed lately most of the new streaming apps are like they don't have up and down.
You're correct.
Because they don't have like Apple TV and Fire Stick and all them don't have a dedicated up and down button, channel up and down.
Yeah, the concept of changing a channel is a little antiquated because you don't really need channels on a sequence.
I'm just very happy that that's where the discussion has ended up. It's been a very long tangent.
I want this to be a discussion after this. Because I want everyone to build a up and down channel button. I'm not a fan of change, but I've had this for like a year, so I'm slowly starting to get a handle or get used to using it.
Do you still have? Is it still DirecTV now?
No, I have X-Men.
Okay, yeah. The because I know DirecTV Now actually does have channel changing, sort of, where if you have like an Apple TV, you can swipe left and right to go to the next and previous
I think
like channel on the list.
Their new standalone AT&T TV.
Oh yeah.
Whatever that box that has a dedicated button, I think.
I use Hulu for live TV, and that's the same, where it's just a guide. I say use, but I don't really. I mean, I pay for it, but I don't really use it, to be honest with you.
You don't watch TV.
Yeah, I have it, but I don't really use it.
It's tough to get used to, but after a while, like all my channels are alphabetical now, so I don't need to remember the channel number.
You don't instinctively go to channel 3 to get to NBC and 5 to get to Fox. I still remember all the damn local channels, like the number.
Sadly, no.
I think MTV was like 29 or something.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. 39 was Comedy Central.
Comedy Central, yep. 34 was Sci-Fi. Oh my god, I remember all of them. I remember them all. Oh god, that's awful. That is so bad.
The one I have let you customize your channels, so I kind have them ordered how they used to be, like how you're talking about.
What going back to Shane Black. Now Shane Black hasn't directed a whole lot of movies. You said you did see Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Would you be interested in seeing any of Shane Black's other directorial efforts?
Yeah.
Did you see he did Iron Man 3? Did you see Iron Man 3?
No.
Okay. That's not really.
You like Iron Man? It's not really a Shane Black movie.
No,
I don't think.
It's not really. He also did the new Predator movie, the one that came out in 2018. Did you see the new Predator movie, Ryan?
Is it called Predators?
No, that's the one before the latest one is called The Predator.
Then no.
I was a little disappointed in it. It had its moments, but the script was pretty good. But that was a Black and Decker joint. Shane Black and Fred Decker.
Oh, yeah.
Any final thoughts before we give you a drum roll on this, Ryan?
No.
Okay. What do you give The Nice Guys?
10.
10 out of 10. Oh my God.
What?
It happened. Oh, it happened, Kevin. A 10 out of 10 for The Nice Guys.
And I feel like there's been a number of times that we've brought this movie up, but I think, again, we kept coming back to where it was like, he watched it.
Yeah.
He had to watch it. It's such a Ryan movie.
I know. It
He
is.
totally watched it.
Yeah, it's definitely a Ryan movie.
And we have this is a 10 out of 10. We had it in our back pocket all this time.
Yep.
Damn. And I'm kind of surprised because everything that he was going on about, I wouldn't have guessed a 10.
No, I knew it was going to be up there for
surprising.
sure. But yeah, 10 is a surprise. 10 is definitely a surprise.
Yeah. No, I figured it was going to be like an 8 or a 9. I was guaranteed an 8.
Mm-hmm. I was like,
It made me laugh out loud quite a bit. That's what got it up there.
okay.
Out loud?
All right. So this is the second 10 out of 10. What We Do in the Shadows also received a 10 out of 10.
Oh, that should be like a 20 out of 10. That show starts things wake up like
Yeah.
It transcends
Yeah, I know the show's coming back.
ratings or something.
All right. So what are you in the mood for next time?
action, I guess.
Action. Okay. All right. We'll have an action one lined up for you.
Right.
I'm tired of waking up every day and laughing at the president.
You get enough
And
comedy.
yeah. So it's time to get serious asking now.
Yeah. First we laugh at him, then we kick some ass.
And see if that changes the daily outcome of my life.
Yeah.
All right. Time to take some action. All right. Got it. Any final thoughts before we close it out this week?
No.
I think
Good.
that's going to do it. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your picks for Ryan and questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet, @FilmPulseKevin, and @MyLegs.Don't If you have a minute, consider giving us a review on your podcast platform of choice. For Kevin Rakestraw and Ryan Holes, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.
See you later.